Welcome everyone. We will start seated. Finding a comfortable place where your sit bones are nicely rested against the chair, feeling heavy. Letting the soles of your feet rest down. And finding a sense that the crown of your head is lifting up, that there's some extra length in your spine, almost as though you're stretching upward gently. There might be a slight push into the floor of your feet, just to stabilize the legs, keeping the knees and hips in line. Eyes can be open or closed here as we start to settle in. Maybe finding a very slight tuck of the chin to keep the back of the neck nice and long. And from here, how would it feel to soften the forehead? Softening the skin of the face. How would it feel to soften the shoulders down any amount? Maybe imagining that the elbows are heavy. Letting the hands rest wherever they feel comfortable, whether that's palms up or palms down today. Noticing the backs of your thighs resting on the chair. Noticing the soles of the feet supported on the floor. Letting your breath flow smoothly and easily. As we settle into the breath, how would it feel to allow the belly to soften? Allowing the breath to perhaps move a little more deeply. Maybe a little more slowly. Just being here in this moment, watching your body breathe. Being with your breath for a few more cycles. If eyes are closed, eyes can stay closed. If your hands are resting palms down, let's flip them over so the backs of the hands are resting. And then we'll bring the tip of each finger to the tip of the thumb in turn, starting with the big finger, the first finger. Tip of the first finger to the tip of the thumb. You can do both hands at once. And releasing the first finger, we'll move to the middle finger. Tip of the middle finger to tip of the thumb. And if they don't quite reach, imagining that they do, visualizing that they do. The other fingers can be soft. And we'll release middle finger and bring tip of the ring finger to tip of the thumb, or imagine that it's happening. Releasing the ring finger and bringing the tip of the pinky to the tip of the thumb. And releasing the pinky fingers. letting the fingers be soft, backs of the hands resting on your thighs. And then before we start moving into the head, if it was more comfortable to have palms down, you can switch the direction of your hands or leave them as they are. And then we'll start moving into the head gently. When your next exhale arrives, tipping the chin down towards the chest. Inhaling to tip the head back up, lifting the chin, maybe gazing towards the far corner of the room or the ceiling. And then exhaling to bring the chin back down towards the chest, continuing to move in this way, following your breath pattern, following the rhythm of your body. Allowing this to be the last set. Once you feel even, making your way back to center, head facing forward. Pausing to allow yourself to notice sensations. Then we'll turn the head from side to side, keeping the chin parallel with the ground. With an exhale, turning to look over one shoulder. And then inhaling back to center as your inhale arrives. And exhaling in the other direction. Moving in this way, again, following the pattern and the rhythm of your own breath. Once you feel even, both sides are complete, or you feel like you've had enough. Making your way back to center, and again, giving yourself the time to notice sensations. Maybe in the neck, maybe in the base of the skull, or the top part of your shoulders, maybe elsewhere, noticing what you notice. And let's move into our figure eights as well. So imagining that your nose could draw, and then tracing a figure eight in the air with your nose. The figure eights can be as big or small as feels right in your body today. Eyes can be open or closed. And when you're ready, let's switch directions. Figure eights the other way. Listening to the sound your body makes. Maybe there's some noise in your neck. It's pretty normal. And then again, making your way back to center when you're ready. And noticing sensations. Moving down into the shoulders, let's find our shoulder rolls so hands can stay resting down or they can lift. Moving into the shoulders a few times in one direction. And then we'll switch directions. And releasing your hands back down to your lap, releasing the shoulders, letting them be heavy, noticing sensation. We'll move into a little bit more in the arms and shoulders. We'll move with breath. So let's bring hands into a prayer position. This is our starting point. With an inhale, we'll open up the arms into goalpost or cactus arms. When we're in this wide shape, keep breathing. While we're in this wide shape, imagine pulling your shoulder blades towards each other, almost as though you were squeezing a pencil or something between your shoulder blades. And then while you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, notice if your belly's poked forward or your ribs have poked forward, and bring the spine back into a little bit more of an alignment. So I'll exaggerate it a little bit. My tendency when I pull my shoulder blades back is that I kind of stick out this whole lower portion. So even while I'm pulling my shoulder blades together and my chest is coming forward, I'm pulling the belly back in, pulling the ribs back in, keeping integrity in the lower portion of the torso. So with that in mind, when your next exhale arrives, bringing the hands back to prayer. And with an inhale, opening the arms into cactus, we'll continue moving with breath. Keeping an eye of your awareness on your ribs, noticing if they want to stick out. Moving with your pattern, your rhythm. We'll do one more round wherever you are. And then after your final exhale, releasing your hands to your lap. And giving yourself the time to notice sensations, maybe in the front of the chest, maybe more in the upper back where you're working, the arms, maybe even the belly where we were containing. And moving into the spine a little bit more. Let's move from there right into our cat-cows first. I'll turn sideways just so you can see my movement a little more clearly. So resting hands on knees or thighs. Breathing in a nice tall and neutral spine. So finding that sense that, again, the feet are pushing into the mat a little bit or into the floor. Legs are nice and stable. Hips are stable. Sit bones are firmly grounded into the chair. The spine is reaching up. Shoulder blades are soft, or shoulders are soft, resting down. When your exhale arrives, let's push the thighs away, pulling the belly towards the back of the chair, towards the spine, rounding the spine like a cat. As you inhale, we'll pull the thighs or knees toward us, pulling the chest through the upper arms and lifting the gaze. Exhaling to round the spine like a cat, shoulder blades spread apart. Inhaling to bring the chest forward, shoulder blades draw together. Moving between these shapes with your breath. When you've had enough, making your way back to that neutral spine. Where the spine is lifted, all the natural curves are there, the feet are firmly pushing into the ground. And noticing sensation, giving yourself this time between movements. From here, let's move into a gentle twist, keeping the feet exactly as they are, parallel on the ground, feet firmly planted, a gentle push into the earth, keeping the knees, legs, and hips stable. Inhaling nice and tall, crown of the head lifts. As you exhale, let's turn the shoulders towards the left, so the right hand might walk along the thigh, and the left hand might reach back beside your hip. or behind you on the chair if it's an open back chair. With every inhale, thinking about lifting the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. With every exhale, allowing your body to settle into the twist. We'll stay for another 2 breaths if it feels okay to be here. And with an inhale, unwinding, making your way back to center. Pausing for a moment in center, noticing any difference from one side of the body to the other. Maybe feeling it in the low back or in the waist, maybe in the ribs. Then we'll set up on the other side. Again, inhaling nice and tall, crown of the head lifts. Exhaling to turn the shoulders towards the right this time. The left hand might walk along the right knee or thigh. Right hand might come back beside your hip or behind you on the chair. Every inhale lengthens the spine. Every exhale allows your body to settle into the twist. As you're ready with an inhale, let's unwind, making our way back to center. Again, giving yourself the time to notice sensations. We'll move into our side bend. For our side bend today, let's open the arms out wide into a T shape. Feeling as though the feet and sit bones are firmly grounded, just a little reset in between. As you exhale, we'll tip over to one side of airplane arms. Inhaling back to center when you're ready. And exhaling to the other side. Coming back to center as you're ready. Reconnecting, sit bones nice and firm. You can keep moving if you like, moving with your breath. Do about 2 more on each side. Keeping the sit bones and feet firmly planted. And then coming back to center, releasing the arms as you're ready. And noticing any sensations in the waist, in the ribs, anywhere else that you may feel it. Let's come forward on the chair a little bit, moving down into the legs. So sit bones are still firm, but the legs coming forward allows our legs a little bit more movement. Let's start with the right thigh. We'll draw the right thigh up towards us. You can use your hands today. Letting the right foot be a bit soft, and we'll start with the ankle circles. Right foot ankle circles. And switching directions when you're ready. And letting the right foot go soft again. Finding that tall seat, re-establishing the tall torso, shoulders broad. And then how would it feel from here to straighten the leg out as much as possible? The toe might point or might flex or it might just be soft. And then bending the knee. Let's do that twice more. Inhaling to straighten. And then exhaling to bend. One more time. Coming back to a neutral position. The right thigh is still lifted, and then we'll switch our hand support of the leg, and we'll find our hip circles. If it feels better to hold under the thigh, that's always an option. Letting your hip circles be as big or small as feels good in your body, exploring your range of motion. And then let's switch directions. And releasing right foot to the floor. Pausing to notice any difference in sensation from one leg to the other. And then we'll draw left thigh up towards us, starting with the ankle circles. So left side ankle circles. Switching directions when you're ready. And letting the foot go soft again. Reestablishing the tall torso, broad shoulders, crown of the head lifts. And then from here, how would it feel to straighten out the left leg as much as possible? And then allowing it to bend. Let's switch the breathing. Inhale with the leg bent and exhale to straighten. One more time. And then we'll find our hip circles, so adjusting where you're holding the leg if that would feel good. Hip circles, left side. As big or small a circle as feels right in your body today. Switching directions when you're ready. Bringing the leg back, allowing it to rest on the floor, noticing sensations. I think we've moved through the whole body. Let's move into our sun salutations. And then we're going to find a seated pose that actually combines a side bend and kind of a straightening of the leg. We'll play some today. So setting yourself up, first of all, for your sun salutations, whether that means that the feet are parallel or whether they feel better to be wide, depending on whether you like the compression between belly and thighs, or if you like the space to allow the torso to come through. So setting yourself up, we'll do 3 of them and you can adjust between as well. Once you've got your legs where you want them, pushing gently into the floor, establishing the stability of the legs and hips. And then when you're ready, let's sweep the arms up as high as feels okay for the shoulders. Exhaling to bring the hands back down to thighs. With an inhale, we'll find cow pose. Chest comes forward, gaze lifts. Exhaling to round the spine, cat shape. Inhaling back to a tall spine. And exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up into a twist. Exhaling the right arm back down. Inhaling the left arm up into a twist. Exhaling the left arm down. Inhaling both arms, bringing us back to a tall seat. Exhaling hands to thighs. Pausing for this in between. And then setting up for number 2, whether you're adjusting the legs or maybe having the arms head in a different direction. They could be arms out wide, they could be arms in cactus, or we could stick with the arms up as high as possible for the shoulders. When you're ready, inhaling to sweep the arms wherever they're headed. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Inhaling to bring chest forward into cow pose. Exhaling to round the spine like a Halloween cat. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. And exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhaling, right arm back down. Inhaling, left arm up into a twist. Exhaling, left arm. Next inhale brings us back to our tall seat, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands back down to thighs. Pausing for a moment again. Making any adjustments to the legs or the direction of your arms. I'm going to bring my legs more narrow. It's good to test out both sometimes. Once you've got yourself set up again, inhale, last one, sweeping arms up. Exhaling to draw hands back to thighs. Inhaling, chest comes forward, gaze lifts, shoulder blades pulled together, cow pose. Exhaling to round the spine, shoulder blades spread apart, cat pose. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. Exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, right arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhaling, right arm down. Inhaling, left arm into a twist. Exhale, left arm down. Next inhale brings us back to a tall seat, arms sweep up. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Beautiful. So the first seated pose we'll try is gate pose, a variation of gate pose. So let's leave the left leg exactly as it is, nice and firmly planted on the floor. The right foot, we're going to stretch out to the side so that the toes are more or less pointing forward. It might feel good to adjust on your chair a little bit. I kind of find that I'm on the corner of my chair for a little more space. Right leg reaching out, as straight as feels okay. We'll stretch the arms out wide, just like we did for our side bend. And then drop your right arm to your thigh. Flip your left palm up so it's reaching up towards the ceiling. And then we'll slide the right hand down the leg as much as possible, reaching the left arm, up and overhead. So we're finding both a side stretch and a bit of a leg stretch. It might feel good to move here. We could come up, inhaling back up. Exhaling to bend. Inhaling up. Moving with your breath if my count isn't working. And exhaling to bend. One more time with movement. And then let's stay here for a breath or two. And slowly making your way back up so that the arms come back into a T shape. Let's release the arms. Bring the right leg back to a bent position. Maybe resettling on your chair for a moment and noticing difference from one thigh to the other. I've definitely got some sensation happening in my right inner thigh. And then we'll set up on the left side. So this time the right leg will stay where it is, bent and firmly planted on the floor. And we'll send the left leg out to the side, maybe adjusting on your chair a little bit so that the left leg has a little more space. And making the leg as straight as feels okay. From here, finding that T shape with the arms. Then dropping the left arm down to your left leg, flipping right palm over, so palm is facing the ceiling. And then let's move with breath. Inhaling in center and then exhaling to tip over. Inhaling up. Exhaling to tip. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more time. And then we'll stay in this tipped over side bend gate pose position for a couple of breaths. And slowly making your way back up. Arms come back into that wide T shape. And releasing the hands, bringing the left leg back in. Both legs bent. Giving yourself a moment to notice sensations. And then let's come to standing. Any way that feels good. I'm not going to bring you through chair today, just come to standing. Let's start with a down dog. So facing the backrest of your chair, we will switch it around in a moment, but we'll find our down dog first. Letting the backs of your hands or wrists rest on the backrest of the chair. And then walking the feet back. Feet can be wide. The toes can point out slightly or be parallel. Knees can be bent. And we're reaching the tailbone in one direction and the crown of the head and fingertips in the other, finding lots of length in the spine. And once you're in this down dog shape, it might feel good to sway from one leg to the other. Then finding some stillness. And how would it feel to pull in the low belly, creating a little bit more space in the low back? Or how does that feel in your body? Does it create the extra space in your low back? One more breath if it feels okay to stay. And then let's walk forward, coming back towards the chair. Pausing for a moment once you arrive, both feet firmly planted, finding that tall spine, crown of the head lifting, slight tuck of the chin, shoulders melting down, weight evenly distributed through both feet. And then let's turn the chair around so we have access to the seat of the chair rather than the backrest. We'll find our standing flow, setting yourself up so that the distance works. If you fold forward, your palms can reach the seat of the chair. So a good amount, the right amount for your body to lean forward. Then we'll come back to standing, finding that mountain pose or equal standing, crown of the head lifting, all the joints stacked, shoulders melting down. When you're ready, let's sweep the arms up as high as feels okay for the shoulders. As you exhale, bending the knees and reaching down the legs as far as possible. With an inhale, we'll straighten the knees any amount. And then exhale to fold them again to bend the knees. One more time, inhaling to straighten the legs. Exhaling to bend them. With an inhale coming all the way back to standing, arms sweep up and overhead. And then releasing, hands back to your sides. Pausing for a moment, noticing how that felt. We're waking up the backs of the legs a little bit. Let's move through that again. Inhaling to sweep arms up. Exhaling to fold forward, bending the knees, reaching fingertips down your legs. With an inhale, straightening the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend them. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. And then inhaling all the way back up to standing. And again, releasing your hands down by your sides. Beautiful. So the next one we'll add on. We're not going to come into our usual lunge from this position. We're going to play with something different. When you're ready, inhale, sweep arms up and overhead. Exhaling to fold forward, reaching down your legs, bending the knees. Inhaling to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend them. Inhaling again to straighten. Exhaling to bend. This time with the inhale, bringing the palms of your hands to the seat of the chair and finding this halfway lift position where the spine is about parallel to the floor. The back of the head is in line with the spine. Settling here for a moment, finding your breath again. And how would it feel to lift the right leg up and back behind you, any amount. Maybe the toes just leave the floor. Maybe the toes hover on the floor. Or maybe you can flex the foot and really reach the heel back. So finding your variation, where along this continuum does it feel good? Then let's release the right foot back to the floor. Reestablish the balance, both feet, weight evenly distributed. And then we'll lift the left foot. Either the toes might come back, the foot might lift. Maybe the foot really lifts, almost coming in line with your body. The foot can be flexed, reaching out through the heel. Breathing. And then allowing the left foot to come back to the mat. When your next exhale arrives, bending the knees generously. And then inhaling to come all the way to standing again. And releasing the hands back to your sides. A little wiggle of the body if that feels warranted. A little shimmy. We'll move through the same thing again. When you're ready, sweeping arms up and overhead. Exhaling to fold forward, bending the knees, reaching down the legs. Inhaling to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend the knees. Again, inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. Then inhaling to bring the palms to the seat of the chair. And breathing here, spine parallel to the floor. If it would feel good to hold the edges of your seat of the chair, that's an option as well. Palms can be flat, or the fingers can wrap around the edge of the chair. When you're ready, let's lift the right foot, reaching the right heel back behind us. Breathing here. Then either holding this, or we could move with breath, with an exhale option to bring the knee towards your face. And then inhaling to stretch the knee back again. If this is crazy, then knowing you can come out of this pose whenever you like. If you're moving with the knee, we'll do one more. Exhaling to bring the knee towards face. And inhaling to stretch the right heel back. And then releasing right foot to the floor. Reestablishing the balance between both feet. Letting the spine maybe soften or find its neutral position again in this parallel position. And then we'll find our action on the left foot. Maybe left toes come to the floor, or we're reaching the left heel back, reaching out through the left heel as high as feels okay in your body, almost as though you're lifting the back of the thigh up towards the sky. From here, we have our option of movement. Maybe as you exhale, you bring left knee towards the face. And then inhaling to stretch the heel away from you. Twice more if you're moving with me. Knowing you can stop or come out of the pose at any point. And releasing left foot down to the floor. Finding the weight evenly distributed on both legs. When your next exhale arrives, bending the knees. And inhaling all the way back to standing, arms sweep up. And exhaling to release the hands down by your sides. Finding any wiggling again that just feels necessary or warranted, a little shimmy. Maybe shaking out the ankles a little bit, shaking out the hips. For our balance, let's switch the chair around again. We're going to use the higher part of the chair, the backrest of the chair. And we'll come into a variation of dancer pose. So finding your stability on both legs. Let's let the left hand and the left foot be stable. So the right foot will start to get light. Maybe bringing the knee towards you. And then we'll start to swing the right knee back. So the foot is lifted. And the heel is aiming to come towards your bum as much as feels okay. And this might be where we stay. If this is where we stay, we're thinking about broadening the chest, keeping the chest and shoulders nice and open. And then maybe reaching the right hand back as though it could reach for the foot. If you feel like you could grab your pant leg or your heel or your toe or your ankle, then you're welcome to. Maybe you can tickle your heel with your fingertips. Seeing how much of a connection you can make, or if it's just an intention to bring those two together. And then maybe from here, we play with the balance of the left hand. Maybe we let go of the chair. Maybe the hand stays on the chair for balance. Breathing here, maybe another 2 breaths or so. And then bringing the hand back to the chair if it's lifted, releasing the right hand, the right leg. And again, finding any wiggling that just feels like you need to get it out of your body. And we'll switch sides. This time, right hand and right foot are the stable ones. Right hand on the chair, right foot firmly planted. The left knee could come towards you first, towards the front, and then we'll swing the left knee back behind us, almost bringing the heel towards your bum as much as possible. This might be where we stay, or the left hand might reach back as though it could reach part of your leg or foot or your pant leg. Maybe your fingertips can tickle your heel. And from here, maybe we play with the balance. Maybe the right hand could lift, maybe just momentarily. Or maybe you're feeling so stable that the hand can actually reach forward. Remembering to breathe wherever you are. Maybe one more breath if it feels okay to be here. And then releasing right hand down. Releasing left hand and leg. Coming back to the stability of both legs. Let's find one more side bend while we're standing. So with your left hip towards your chair, let's bring the feet wide. We'll reach the right arm up and overhead. And then tip over towards the chair. Inhaling back up, we'll do it twice more. Exhaling to bend. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to bend. Then making your way back up to standing, releasing right arm. Maybe bringing the hands a little closer together, or feet rather closer together, the hands. And then either switching the chair, or you could just turn around so right hip is by the chair. Widening the feet again. And we'll find the same action, reaching left arm up and overhead. And with breath, exhaling over towards the chair. Inhaling back up. Exhaling towards the chair. Inhaling back up. Last one, exhaling towards the chair. Inhaling back up. And releasing the hands, bringing the feet back towards each other. And if there are any last movements that just feel like your body wants to make them before we come back to a seat, making those movements, shaking out any kinks, noticing what's needed. And then we'll make our way back to seated. Finding our nice tall seat, noticing the feet on the floor. Noticing the backs of the thighs resting on the chair. Reaching the crown of the head up and softening the shoulders and belly. Coming back to watching your breath. Maybe noticing as your body expands with every inhale and gently contracts with every exhale. Just being with your breath for the next 2 or 3 cycles. Eyes are closed, they can stay closed. And if the hands are comfortable, they can stay where they are. In closing practice, if it feels better to bring hands over heart or hands into prayer position, that's also an option. Sending gratitude to yourself, first of all, for making the time to move and breathe, honoring your body and breath, and coming together in community. With gratitude for allowing me to guide you through the practice today. And with gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us. Om Shanti, Om Peace.